Let's go. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. You got Duke Sims the Don. Exclusive interview with the big homie Ayatollah Marv Outta Compton. He would like to say Bompton. And we ain't doing no fake dicking it. We ain't doing no fake kicking it. So hit that like button and share. Tell a friend. We got Munchie D in the building.
B10.
Y'all know what it is. Kicking cat being booed in the building. And then we got the homie Diamond. The sniper is in the building for all of the jerks.
What it do?
So today we got Big Marv. Before we get into this and introduce y'all to the big homie and get to know a little bit more about him, y'all hit that like button. Well, we want to give a special shout out to our corporate sponsors. Shout out Color Raps, the Damu and Kiwe Conversation Raps, coming to you within a month. Y'all make sure that y'all pay attention to that. We got berry, we got banana cream, all kind of different raps. Let me show y'all this.
Hey.
Y'all see what it is. Y'all seen Snoop Dogg post that too. You see it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So y'all roll y'all top flight up with some top flight raps. Go follow Color Raps and Cones on IG. Tell them that we sent you. Hit that like button. Let's get your peoples up in here. Shout out to all my people on Clubhouse. I see y'all pulled up. Salute. Appreciate the support. And I know y'all want to hear from the G homie. We finna get to it. G Mac, Pacoima Piru. What's up? Pacoima's in the building.
That's right.
Smoked Out TV. Salute. Bomani. Salute. What's up, baby? Hey. We got Messi in the building. What up? West LA's in the building. And then we got AJ in the building. We got my pops in the building, John Jr. What up?
Big John Jr.
He wasn't gonna miss this for all the money in the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Hey, somebody just popped in. Oh, it's my co-host, Yael. Compton is in the building.
Conversations. So we got a co-host today. Who we got up on here tonight, man?
We got the snipers in the building. You already know he got his gun ready to snipe some people if they get out of pocket. We got Ayatollah Marv. We'll be doing an interview with Ayatollah Marv. And then we got Munchie B, the mayor, is in the building, kicking cat, being booed. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and shout out our sponsors one more time, y'all.
Man, salute. Ayatollah Marv, salute, man, being on stage with his brother. Real quick, y'all about to jump into some of this hot content, man. If you finna roll up, top shelf, make sure you rolling up with United Color Raps, man. Top shelf weed with some top shelf wraps. That's United Colored Wraps. We got cherry, berry, grape, apple, banana, original. If I name it, flame it up with United Color Wraps, man. Salute to United Color Wraps for the sponsorship. And salute to Big U. We know, man, you got the new app coming soon, man. It's already up and loaded. Make sure y'all download the Unique Music app. That's UNEEK Music app, where you're going to be able to distribute your music for free. Politic with the Damu Kiwe Conversation team and myself, Du Sims, Diamond, and the whole plethora of individuals, man, on there, man. Make sure y'all download the Unique Music app. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse right now. That's some green mods. That's on stage. Salute to them. That's always on their job. Everybody in the goose, salute to you too also. That's Clubhouse, man. We live right now on YouTube, man. Y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube. Salute to the Blue Wrench mob. They always on their job, and the chat is where it's at. So if you in there, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tap in. You
Who
sitting
they
on
got
stage
in the chat, y'all? Who in the chat? Cause they going crazy, bro.
I see it, bro. They going crazy in the chat right now. We got, man, who we got? We got. Hold on 1 second.
Well, Yael is waiting. We gonna shout out Selena. Finally got her wrench. The whole shout out to the Henny gang, man. We got up in here. We ain't even hollered at the Henny gang. Henny gang. Prayers for Henny as she take her flight on her little vacation. She deserve it. She works. She puts that work in. And I hope that y'all appreciate her, man. Everybody keep Henny in her prayers for a safe flight, her and her peoples. You know what I'm saying? CS2 Back is having a bad day today. He gonna have a bad year and a bad decade. Whenever you put that type of negative energy out into the community, that's what you're gonna reciprocate. But shout out Money Grip, man. Let's get into this content. Big Marv, what up?
What's up? What it do? What it do? Just
Man,
out here keeping the crime rate up.
Keeping the crime rate up. Hey, man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know?
You got to. Ain't no sense in them resting.
Right. I wanted to first ask you where you come from for those in the audience and on Clubhouse, and that's on IG and Facebook, who might not know who you are, where you from. Could you let them know what it is, man?
Man, I'm from Nightmare on Elm Street. Raised on Elm Street, which was all treetops at one time. And back in the 50s, we from Elm Street, we ran Freddy Cougar out of Compton. So when people hear me say Compton, California, we ain't set tripping, we set trends. We was the first black-run city west of the Mississippi's in 1969. A black mayor, black police chief. We've had a black-run city for over the last 50 years, and these Negroes done letting these Mexicans lose it. So yeah, I'm originally from Elm Street, 921 West Elm Street, Compton, California.
Okay. Now, with that being, let me give them a little history when you talk about Piru Street, right? And the beginnings of that, and then their influence informing today what is called the Bloods, right? When you grew up, what was some of the dudes your age group that grew up in Compton that you grew up thugging with, man, that you was representing with and defending your community?
See, like if you want to go back in history before Piru Street was, or the Piru Boys was, it was treetops, it was the swamps, and it was Front Hood. You dig what I'm saying? Those are the three main gangs in Compton. You know, before Fruit Town, it was Lazy Loafers. After the Lazy Loafers, they became the Bliss Boys, Reggie Holland, Willie Wanzo, Chucky McNeil. Those were the Bliss Boys in the early 60s. When the West Side was always getting money. They was nice boys. And on Piru Street in 1963, Mickey Bourne, Lonnie Hall, Clarence Grandy, and Bob Murphy, they was bank robbers. Everybody on Piru Street was always getting money. And we was over there playing football one day, and the feds came up and they asked who the Piru Boys was. They had already went to Miss Bourne's house, and we told them, so Mickey was the first man I ever seen with a trunk load full of money. I said, man, what do he do, Terry? He said he robbed banks. I wanted to be a bank robber. So Piru Street always was some dudes that got down. They always got, in every house, like the Bourne, they had 5 brothers. The Nelson, they had the Nelson family, they had the Johnson family, they had the Washingtons, everybody, Terry Carter, his brother Ralph Carter, all of them dudes had, they big old street in there. So they had a whole football team on their street. So we used to go from my side, I lived on the other side of Rosecrans, and play football with them in 60, 61, like that. So that's how the Piru Boys first started in 1963.
And for those who don't know, that preceded what they call today the Blood Organization.
That's, and that's Munchie B. One day we was on a call, and he was trying to explain to me where Piru and Bloods, I'm creating a separation. I'll never create a separation because, we didn't even start in gangs the same as the first blood set was 5'9" Brims. Lil Punk and the Double Barrel Bob.
It was L.A. Brims.
Huh?
Before they broke off into streets, it was L.A. Brims.
Yeah, it was 5'9" Brims. First ones I met 1972 was like I said, Double Barrel Bob and Lil Punk and in Youth Authority. The first Crips that came to YTS, I was there when they got there. You know, Bunchy Griffin, Crazy Crip, Kevin Williams, Bobby, YG, all of those crew, the first Crips that ever came. I've been in TS since 1969. I came down, I got rolled up out of there in 72 and went to San Quentin. I've been around these dudes. How about they don't know me? You talk to some OGs. These is third and fourth generation Pirus that you talking to.
Right. Well, at that time, so now that gives me a lot of understanding. In 68, the LA Brim started. So it makes sense that when you got to YA, you met your first, that 5'9" Brim, right? With the LA Brims also preceded.
Well, see, before they was Brims, in that neighborhood in Manuel Austin was Gladiators, bro.
The Gladiators were more on 36, but it was two separate, So you say in the Fruitown Brims, you talking specifically about the Fruitown Brims, right?
No, I'm the Gladiators, Lonnie Jackson, Lonnie Jackson, damn, what is these boys' name?
You got Makita, you got the Fosters, the whole families that were Gladiators turned into Fruitown Brims. That was Brim territory. Behind them, you had the Hoover Park families and Blood Alley over there in the 20s. But but that kind of makes sense that you the first Brim you met was 5'9", so you believe that was the first ones. So at that time, when you was talking about with the brothers that was that y'all was fighting against or whatever, what was they getting into it for? This is a black community. What was the tensions about?
And you know, it's been gang and been tribalism and territorial since Cain and Adam, Cain and Abel. You did understand? So it's all neighborhoods. The Swamps was over at Enterprise Junior High School. We was Treetops before I was going to drop out in the 6th grade. It was so the Swamps had so many hitters. At that time you had to fight. And the Treetops, they all went to Enterprise. So I was going to drop out in the 6th grade because I couldn't fight that good. And they was fighting against the Swamps every day. You know, my older homeboys, my OGs. So
that was before it was Crips and Bloods, the Swamps.
Yeah, that's 1962. They made Vanguard Junior High School. I got blessed. I went to Vanguard, and the Vanguard was the west side where Piru Street and going out. They wasn't as hard as the Swamps are going to Willowbrook with the front hoods. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So. That's how we start interacting with the west side, because half our street, before it was Palmer Block in Compton, from Rosecrans to Compton Boulevard, from Central to the Canal, we was all Treetops. And so later on in the 70s, when they split Brazil, everybody on the north side of Brazil went to Vanguard or went to Davis, and everybody on the south side went to Enterprise or Walton. So that's why the Palmer Block Crips started versus went from Treetops to Cedar Block. And Tony Lane grew up next door to my mother's house on Elm Street. So when his mother then moved across the canal and he got out of YA, he started Treetops on that side right across the street from Fruit Town.
Real quick, Tony Lane, pray everybody's prayers to Tony Lane. I hope that his health is getting better. When he say Tony Lane, he talking about Shepherd Lane. You have Stan Shepherd and Tony Lane.
Right.
AMD, Second to None, DJ Quick, Sugar Free, Marksburg, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, everybody give prayers. I hope that his health is getting better. Let's move on to peace walk, man. That was if for those who've been sleeping under a rock, there was an organization amongst people with influence in the Black community and the Piru community to squash some of the beefs and wars that had been going on for some decades. You know what I'm saying? Which was a real, first and foremost, a reflection on the leadership that's in Compton right now, their intentions, and it was a real show of unity. And I know y'all probably seen all the rappers. Shout out to YG for his support.
Right.
Shout out to the gang. But we're going to get into this video, and then I'm going to let Marv talk about how some of this came to pass, man. Let's go. Everybody hit that like. We got 200 and some people in here on YouTube. We want to get some more likes and shares, man. We got Ayatollah Marv in the building. Let's go. Shout out to all Urban Central.
And we still have it. Blood, come on, blood. Hey, they be talking that blood. Hey, it's speak for itself. Blood right here. Yeah. Big P.
That West Side Compton like, fool. A lot, they got you out here on your 554. Look at blood. Out here with the homies on the West Side.
Bitch, you know what we do. Members and all that. Yeah, long live both.
Yeah, share it on Twitter. Share it everywhere.
Hey, back, y'all gotta back up though. The camera, back up.
Move that car.
Put it that way, son.
Members and all that.
That's how we troop up.
All down Benson. Straight to Benson. Rose brand.
Hold on. Real quick, I want to answer this, what you call it. Shah Sun say, I believe King Baba Louie started the Bloods because the Brims was turning everybody Brim, not Blood. I think that you technical, to be technical, you wrong on that. It wasn't no Bloods when it was Brims. The Brims, if they was turning everybody Brim, then they would have been all turning Brims. They was already established Brim from East LA, Aliso Village, all the way to Florence. You know what I'm saying? Brim sets that you probably never even heard of. So and remember, Bloods is a street, a STG. If you ever been, maybe you're not from California, that's a street gang. Blood was the old school slang. That's the word that we use. But the Brim establishment, the biggest Black organization in Los Angeles County at that time, the Brim establishment unification with the Compton Pirus is what formulated today what is known as the Bloods. But let's finish this real quick.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? We outside. Yeah.
Rolled up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Through this power, we walk down the brands though.
Yeah.
On our YG. Only about 6 minutes. We almost finished. I want y'all to dwell in gospel unity and strength look like.
Right to Stanford, though. Woke up on the branch, though.
Phonesters, the homie. Nah, we got the motherfucker, right?
Shout out OG Band. Top subscription in the chat.
Make it make sense.
That ain't you back, bro.
Shit, the wallet. We outside. Live 2 B's though.
VIP don't live 2 B's. Less than $9.
We out here. What's up, Mom? Y'all Wise? Yeah. Y'all Marvin? What up with it? You know what it is? Marvin, look at it. Look at her. She out here. Whoa. Let me see. That Westside Compton like. Hey, all that. Members and all that.
That's Circus City Piru showed up. Treetop, Fruit Town,
Uncle Pretty Baby. Look at Uncle Pretty Baby.
They said YG did that. That is crazy, bro. First and foremost, YG was definitely in support of, but you best believe that came above YG's pay grade to be able to move the troops forward in a positive direction. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Fruittown Piru. Shout out to the Treetop Piru. Free the homie G Potts, man. I love you, big homie. Shout out to the Cedar Blocks. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to all of those brothers who, instead of choosing continued violence after 50 years and decades of violence against each other, chose to unify. That's the first step, cleaning up and making sure there's unity amongst the red. You know what I'm saying? OG Bam, I seen you down there. You say you compared
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
And
I'm back, y'all.
All right. I'm quite sure the hub, especially how the hub and the dub push, that it's a lot of backdoor channeling and to try to move in that direction for y'all side. We can't take care of the Kiwe side. All we can do is work with our own. We working on some things in LA already, and this is a Damu Kiwe conversation. So, Big Marv, what can you tell us about this event before we, because there's a time for peace and it's a time for war. So we're going to let y'all know what our intentions is every day and the energy we exude in the community. But we ain't no turn the other cheek type motherfuckers. So we going to get into some other shit after this. But what was the energy that day, Big Marv?
Well, I mean, like you said, this has been ongoing a couple of years. Brothers been talking and understanding that we got a bigger enemy than we have with each other, and that we all out the same lawns. We got relatives right across Rosecrans with each other, and we got bigger problems than we have with each other. And it finally came, shout out to John, Lil John, to
shout out John,
Pooh, all of the brothers that came together and daily talk. This has been going on since 1988, actually, and so it was something. So 2 weeks before that, the first time Treetops had been in Gonzales Park in over 15 years, and everybody got together. YG, as an entertainer, he saw it. He saw what was going on. He involved with Treetops, so he made it a list to do a shout out, and every Piru got the memo. And if you didn't get the memo, well, you must be suspect. You feel what I'm saying? So I know some dudes' little feelings was hurt because of why, but you should have showed up and made your whatever discontentment you had. Man, we had some dude. I hadn't heard from Eastside Pain since the 80s. You understand me?
Eastside Pains, man.
East Side Pains, Waterfronts. Man, we had some Piru sets I hadn't heard from in years, but they all showed up. You dig what I'm saying? So for one that didn't show up, them that wasn't there and complaining about it, bruh, we got more bigger things than your little petty problems. I understand people's hurt and what they heard about. It may be justified, but it ain't justified. Everything, got a pecking order. And if you ain't on the top of the pecking chain, nigga, you just on the bottom. Stay where you at.
That's a fact, man. I mean, I remember you had went as Chris Brown before, and no,
but that was a misinterpretation. I didn't get it, Chris, like that. It was about a check-in and things that was happening, and Chris did everything he could for the hood, but the hood didn't reciprocate. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, dudes be doing shit and you accept something less, and it wasn't no white boys that broke in his house. It was some niggas that he thought was his homies, So then what do I need you for? But you never ask him to put some money. You spending $20,000, $30,000 in a club, but Piru's been in existence since 1972, as said his gangs, right? This is 2024, 52 years, and the Boy Scouts got a building. The Girl Scouts got a building. Motorcycle clubs got a building. The crackheads even have a building. Winos got a building. Why is Piru's meeting in a fucking park?
Great point.
10 square miles. We don't have one edifice of Piru nowhere on Rosecrans. Why is 30 niggas in the park every day spending $100 a piece? They can put down on a building and do parties every week and make it pay for itself.
Right. Oh, so you gonna get to the money aspect of it? How people need to be producing and having their own.
You can't keep on dealing with what this project 2025 is going to turn shit around as it should be. Coon's been getting the handouts for too long. It's time for either swim or sink.
Shout out to Houston.
Man,
yeah.
salute to that brother, man. OG Ayatollah Marv, this Yael, man. I'm out the women to norms, man. I'm hearing a lot of the things you're saying, brother, and it makes a lot of sense, man. This be my politic. I be thinking, I'm a Kiwe from where I'm from, and I see how you guys move, like the unity. Great thing, bro. I really appreciate the unity. My thing is this: how do you differentiate from, bringing the unity in, but then still politicking when, you got hoods that done had so much bloodshed and all that stuff that happened? How do you politic and?
So that's see the object of a truce. It don't mean that we can go and smoke weed and drink together because it's blood is hard to get rid of. And once I give you the respect and I show you who the real enemy is, we can set aside our differences. Don't mean we gonna hug and kiss each other. I'm not cool with you going in trying to have sex with one of my homegirls that I've been wanting. Stay on your side. It ain't mean that we supposed to be together every day. We supposed to give each other respect and respect each other, respect your boundaries. That's how the gang truce fell off in 91. Everybody thought that they could drink and be alike, and we come up in your neighborhood getting drunk and you think about the dead bodies and under alcohol and dope, we get one thing going. Instead of keeping it on a person, we take it to hood. So we got to keep whatever's personal.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Well, first and foremost, it takes a real true general always puts his troops in the best position to win. So again, I want to make sure I salute to all of those who were involved with that and moving in that direction. As far as somebody asked the question, what about the Ludus Park Pirus and the mob Peace Walk? That would be legendary. The east side of Compton definitely got some things to work out. Is there any headway towards that?
Well, we had Ludus Park and the mob there Sunday.
Okay.
It wasn't just the west side. It was Compton Pirus.
Right.
Everybody showed up and showed out.
Right. Well, what about Soulja Boy? Did he show up?
He ain't from Compton.
Oh, okay. So we got that out the way. Well, let's get into this real quick because somebody else didn't show up.
I got a question. I got a question before you ask that question.
Go ahead.
So you saying that Soulja Boy not from the city, right, big dog?
What'd he say?
He said so. Go ahead.
Saying Soulja Boy is not from the city, or he's not a Piru?
No, I didn't say that. I said he's not from Compton.
What about Chris? Do you feel the same way about Chris?
Phyllis, they didn't show up. So I mean, our Compton is some place where you're born and raised. Because you adopt something, don't make it yours. You know, they did a Piru walk in Virginia or in Mississippi. It's okay. But I can only speak for Compton, that 10 square miles.
Right. All right, let's get into this because I didn't see Confidential Source 2 back either. Yosemite Sam, let's go.
Got a little tricky.
This is from a fake account.
I wonder if you heard this.
Sure post. They said, "Hey Wack, why didn't you show up to the Piru Peace Walk?"
A lot of people have been saying that.
First of all, I don't walk nowhere. Second of all,
I would assume YG probably doesn't walk anywhere that often, right?
Second of all, why didn't they show up to my meeting I just inked for $200 million? Listen, man.
You see this goofy, first of all, so many excuses, and then he got the slave master, Adam Grandmaster is his name. That's his real name, right? You got him instigating because he already know he playing him like a fool.
That's right.
He asked him why he come up, why he didn't show up, and he said because why the Pirus didn't show up to his $200 million deal, which he lying about. But let's go.
He didn't invite nobody.
Yeah, he didn't invite nobody. I would have loved to show up.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam. He's not going to be anywhere that any real niggas are.
Fact.
That's one of them gang banging podcasters. He's not going to be. Now he don't walk nowhere. Well, he don't ride nowhere either. He ain't coming past Manchester. He ain't coming past Wilshire Boulevard going south.
Let's get back into it.
More of a public event.
Listen.
Right? Why would anybody go to a meeting?
No, listen what I'm saying. That politic been in the works for at least 5-6 years, I know.
Really? It was that big a deal?
Right? And the people you saw ain't the one that politic that. Right? Those are people that don't play on social media.
Okay.
Right? First of all, that wasn't a Piru Peace Walk. It's two neighborhoods, Treetop and Fruit Town. First of all, right?
Did y'all just hear this lie? This is why if you ain't from our communities, you shouldn't be speaking up on our communities. Don't speak on what you don't know. He said that wasn't a Piru Peace Walk, that was between the Fruit Towns and the Treetops. Ayatollah Marv just told you who was there, what it was about, and he's from Bompton.
Was there.
We're going to get to that too. You know what I'm saying? But you want to speak on that real quick? Because that nigga out of pocket.
I'm not from Treetop or I'm not from Fruit Town. Let's get this right. Right? If it was not what I did see, I saw Game over there. They was hollering where Game can't go. Game was over there by himself. He didn't even tell us he was going, right?
Tell us.
I saw a lot of other homies from West Side shit like over there, but that's a lot of people I didn't see. So shout out to YG for putting the light on it. He from Treetop and whoever else participated in it. But understand this, Wack dictates Wack. I'm never gonna be where you expect me to be.
So you hide, nigga. Real quick, before we go further, the homie G-Mac for Pacoima, G-Mac 2 P's and 1 B. Wack don't speak for Pacoima Piru Bloods. We saluted the Piru Peace Walk to the fullest.
That's right.
Salute, Funk. You already know what it is, man. Weirdo.
I'm not the common man.
Well, that's not
He's an
your
elitist.
shit. You're from a different place, right?
Exactly. There's no need for me. That's their thing.
Right.
Right? I'm not a gangbanger. I'm from Piru. That's where I'm from. I can't forget that, because forgetting that, then I forget certain things that's happened in my life.
Right.
I don't live in the ghetto.
Where nigga H at?
I haven't had a sidewalk in front of my house over 2 decades. I'm just gonna be real.
No sidewalk.
He had told me to call.
You know, I'm just being real. Like, I don't know. I don't hang in the motherfucking hood. My outside is different.
But you would go to the hood for a special event, right?
It all depends on what it is. It's rats.
So he always talking about he outside and all of this shit. Now I don't hang in the hood. My outside is
it ain't no hood in Calabasas. On Mulholland Highway, it ain't no hood. No, it ain't.
Well, he hiding out in Vegas. Now he got a house out there, and he still got them houses in Lancaster. But
he used the house in Lancaster for his trucking company. But his house, he just got a divorce from his wife, Kimberly, with Judge Perry filed a divorce. And I don't know if he is still in the house in Mulholland, on Mulholland Highway in Chatsworth, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I see why you don't pop outside, nigga. Your shit all in the streets. Yo.
You went to that event. Would you look like you were kind of doing too much by trying to interject yourself into some shit that's not really your shit? Right now,
at this point in my life, with the business I'm in the middle of, I'd be a goddamn fool to be in anybody's hood.
You're right.
But you'll go to Grape Street with me, right?
That's business.
Okay.
If that's what's supposed to need to do. But what I'm saying is,
he get the stuttering because the Wyopi just told him, but you would go to the Grape Streets with me, right? Because they went to the Grape Streets. But you scared to go out here with these Pirus, but it's on Piru every sentence. My goldfish is orange on Piru. All of the stupid shit exploiting our culture. But you don't go outside, you don't go to the hood.
I'm just really like, let's get everything straight. I'm 47 years old. I'm launching a diaper company.
Wait, how old is you, Marv?
A few other businesses.
How old are you?
I'm
74. Send some containers to the neighborhoods, which I'm allocating $500,000 of that to go to various neighborhoods around Greater LA.
You ain't done shit for
the mothers in need. But bro, you can catch Wack moving where I'm moving. I got very noticeable vehicles. I tell the world where my studio's at. If you looking for me, pull up. You're invited. I let them know when I'm here. But bro, don't expect me to get up, leave my mansion, jump in a Rolls Royce or a G-Wagon, a Porsche, anything else I got, and drive around the hood. Because one of you rats that's getting, what they paying them again, $88,000 a year, gonna let the police know Wack driving around here.
But so the short version of this is you weren't invited.
I don't have to be invited.
I was scared to go.
When I go to the hood, you know what they do? They whack, nigga, woo, woo, woo. We take some pictures, a few of them tell me their problems. They tell me a few homies looking for me. I look out for a few homies. I got about 12 minutes.
Why would you go to an event where YG was one of the...
He look out for a few homies.
Which one?
He's not a Piru. He's a Piru.
Hey, Lamonte, hey, I was scared to go, but I got some niggas on call. Hey, Ayatollah, hey, get up off the live and meet me at 5556 Beck Avenue, blood. Pull up.
Figureheads at the event when you've been shitting on him for the past few years.
Where did I shit on YG?
Jesus Christ, I can't even remember, but there's been a lot of Clubhouse rants.
What did I say?
You want me to search Wack 100 YG on YouTube? Okay.
The last thing I said is it used to be a Crip.
Calling him, talking about being for Paramount and all this shit.
That's my fault?
No, but I mean, you're the one making it your...
Are you from New Hampshire?
Big time.
So if I told you from New Hampshire, is that disrespectful?
Don't make me throw it up. You can say whatever you want about New Hampshire. YG and Wack 100 get into it on Clubhouse talking about Slim 400 and things go left.
That's a lie. YG has never been on Clubhouse. That's clickbait.
Wack 100 responds in a heated argument with YG's homies.
That's not YG.
Over Slim 400. It's probably the same one we just read.
That's not YG. I defended him against Draco.
Yeah, but that's just
on some bullshit.
That's just some music shit.
Well, yeah, well, shit. When the shit happened with us, it was on some music shit. The nigga told me Blueface was doing too much cripping.
YG gets into Instagram beef with Wack 100 over gang ties. I feel like this is probably the part that you don't want to say out loud about why you were not at this parade.
You think YG gonna do something to me?
Wack flames up YG, says he was a Crip that turned blood, speaks on beef. Just saying. There's probably some issues that you might want to sort out before you go to the
I don't gotta sort out no issue with no white man. YG is YG doing his thing. You know, he did the best thing, left me the f alone.
I'm just trying to speak for the people.
The white boy say, white
boy, bring it out.
You might want to straighten that out before you go to.
You might want to straighten it out.
Out there that are probably wondering.
Bro, listen, I'm gonna say this one more time. I'm a rich nigga. I don't hang in the ghettos. This is the fact.
Ain't you rich, Adam?
I'm telling you. Bro, listen, man.
You know what I need you to do, Adam? One of our brothers got killed by the police a little while ago, but they got a business up under his name and everything. Baby's got to eat for the kids and things that's missing fathers in their household, man. I need you to support them and, you know what I'm saying? See what you can get to them.
Okay. I'll check it out. Sure. Give me the info.
Adam, you see what that is?
Incredible Diapers, SAS.
What it say at the top?
It's not in English.
French, but it says what? Congo, right? Blow up that stamp. Blow that stamp up. You see that?
None of this is in English.
It's official government contract from Congo for Incredible Diapers. Listen, my nigga, I'm on my way to Congo to build some factories in their hood. You want to see the names, the signatures? See this shit?
No,
see this?
Not at all.
This is what I'm doing. I don't know what y'all doing. Nigga, listen. Anybody, and I'm going to say it, that get up and in the hood every day is not there because they want to be. It's there because they got to be.
I hope with you doing all this business in Congo that you figure out what the gangs are out there and you get directly involved in their business as well, just like you do out here.
What I'm doing is supplying jobs.
Right. Why don't you do that here?
What do you mean?
Start a pizza spot.
No, I got Incredible USA.
Okay.
That ain't what I do. You supply jobs, right?
I just want to see you treat Congo exactly the way you treat LA.
I am. I'm going to go get the money.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
That's enough for the rat face. So let's talk about one more thing, and then he could break that down and go right into it because they both relative to the as he segues into getting us to the business of why we here. So we gonna show y'all how he been exposed CS2 back. Gonzalez part. Yeah. What up, Diamond?
One quick thing. One quick thing before we delve into that. Hey, Marv,
Yes,
I just
sir.
wanted to ask you, in your opinion, as an older homie, you know what I'm saying, and a real vet, do you look at the Bloods and Pirus of the 70s and 80s as opposed to the ones nowadays, like Yosemite Sam? And how can I put it? Where back then it seemed like it was more of a you had to really be you had to be down in order to be a Blood or a Piru because you was outnumbered by so many, you know.
Right.
And it seemed like it's easier for anybody to claim this now more so as it was then because it's been made cool per se.
Fashionable is what you say, trendy.
Yeah. Do you see the difference in the types of individuals that push Piru and Blood from then to now?
Yeah, I mean, pushing blackness is a difference. You know, you go and like I said, when I was in youth authority, the first black peace stone that came was Dennis Garrison in 1972. And that was City Stone before it was even in the jungle. And they didn't know what a black peace stone was. When the Pirus came to YTS, two little homies from Piru, Bunchy Griffin from Hoover came like, man, Marv, what is a Piru? I'm like, they from Piru Street. Find out that they got the gang going on. So it was a difference. And then when it started, it was just the combination. When you hear somebody say blood in prison in 70, 72, 73, you like, damn, because everybody, you got 3,000, 4,000 Crips. You dig what I'm saying? Me and Eminem's father, we was in Tracy in 1984. It was 960 Crips on the line. Everybody else had
Bloods in Piru.
You know, so it was like you had to embrace whoever was trying to, you know, riding in that car. So it was a unity. Now we didn't come. You got dudes from West bumfuck Egypt come in your neighborhood saying you don't know nothing about him. They sending these agents in, and now we biting each other. We don't even kill Crips no more. Crips don't kill Bloods. We killing each other.
Dang, that's a fact. But let me say this: the 90s and early 2000s, it was still a criteria, and the bar was still set high. Definitely. That generation that he's talking about for the Bloods and Pirus, my dad, him, that generation laid down the foundation, and they definitely was cut from a different cloth. It was for survival. It was hard to even. My mama told me even in the 90s I was crazy for being the Blood, right? So even before that, going to those penitentiary yards, what yard you and John Jr. was on?
We was on DVI main line. Tracy, I just did 22 months in the hole in San Quentin. Big Swan from 74 Hoover told me, man, Marv, you can't stay here. We ain't got no slobs on the line. I told man, the same bus brought you. So
right. Hey, so let's get into this video real quick so y'all know where this really started getting unwound, and we're gonna let him bring you up to date to the weird shit he on now.
Yo, this is the Ayatollah Marv, aka Ayatollah Marv, aka Mr. Bompton. Hey, I'm just giving a shout out to everybody that's out there doing their thing. I got a public service announcement for the little old Wack. This is want to talk about Wack. We ain't even 100, but let's call Wack. Yosemite Sam. I understand that Charleston White came on his podcast and shut your bitch ass down. Said, didn't even I told you to shut up, and you never put it on Piru, nigga. What's wrong with you? You ain't got back. But this is just going, I'm giving you a public service announcement to show you what a informant, a paid informant, what he does to a CI, what is called a confidential informant. That's a little bitty nigga that he just tell for breakfast, and he got one police. Charlie got a whole brigade. He's legitimized being a public informant. And when he talked to Wack, when he hollered at Yosemite Sam's handlers told him, do not fuck with this nigga here, because he got way more juice. The same way Charlie be saying that he's not messing with Jay Prince, Wack is not messing with Charleston White, because Charleston White, see, his brain stimulation is way quicker than Cash Tina. Cash Tina's brain apparatus don't work like that. When he caught you in that lie, when you said that stuff about the preacher, and he said, yeah, you talking about, you talking about that preacher, and then he said you was a motherfucking lie. And that's what you do. You lie and you exaggerate and you stretch things. I've never been in a courtroom with Suge Knight. Never. I've been in the courtroom, but I've never been. The lie that you tell, your handler say that ain't what he told you. So you
go on with these lies, your shit is getting short, bro. You are your limitations. Now you lied on that guy in New York, and his people is not happy about that. He was never on the phone with you, and he never said those things to Suge. He never said that. That's another lie. How do you? Everybody got your phone number. How do you? How in the hell do you always know who called? And yeah, they called me. You ain't been that important. You didn't get on death row till 2003, and there wasn't even death row then. And matter of fact, none of the homies say they even put you on. Ma James didn't bring you around. You got brought around by the police. So what? How did you come in to death row from the beginning? And you brag about that you gave Suge Knight's family $10,000. $10,000 ain't no money, nigga. You could have kept your mouth shut for $10,000. You can get $10,000 from victims of crime. And you bragging about 10. I gave it 10. Did he ask you for it? You tried to get in his good grace. I done heard everything that you do. You done shot your shit. You are not. I'm in the park. I'm in Gonzales Park. All the trips in Dubai and all the trips to Jamaica can't get you in the park. These young piranhas will eat your ass up. You got no West Side pass because the main man over there is looking at your head. He already said he done already slammed you. He told me all about this lawsuit. He told me about your whole get on. So you are in a box right about now. Man, come on your own Clubhouse and tell you to shut up. And you don't say nothing. You didn't put that on Piru. So now, Mr. Pacoima, Mr. Dubai, you ain't in Pacoima. You don't come past Manchester, you sure are not gonna come to El Segundo. I invite you. You've never been to none of the homies' funerals. You've never been to a hood day. How are you a Piru and you've never been at no function? Matter of fact, the 8th is hood day in Fruit Town. Come through. I invite you to come through. John T, your boy, come on through. If you think you can come to Compton, come through. I dare you. I challenge you. This is the Yosemite Sam challenge. I'd like to see you come to Compton Hood Day, March the 8th in Compton, California. We're in Gonzales Park. You can go to Campanella Park. You can go to Enterprise Park. Shit. Just come to Tams and buy a hamburger. I dare you. But I know you ain't. So onward and upward, Yosemite Sam, your time is up. Hey, Charlie, you got him, boy, on that one. You got him. I give you one for that. You ain't getting shit else. Because you talk to these nitwits, which you could. I did head-to-head. I'm going to tell you about that head-to-head you did with me, Charlie. But I appreciate you checking the CI and a paid informant. Check the CI, confidential informant that lies. I was there with Jimmy Henchman, told you. You a damn lie. And you're gonna get it for that one. Yeah, you make it. All these lies are catching up to you on Piru. This is the Ayatollah. I'm checking out to check in. See you, Charlie. You're next.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
And we gonna get into the thing about Charlie, but first I want to know. First, you said that he got slapped. We ain't gonna say the homie name from West Side, right? That slammed. What was that about, man? I never heard nobody even elaborate into that. And we do a lot of research, but I ain't hollered at the homie since I beat him at the GS in Inglewood a couple years ago.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that was a rant I was on about 2 years ago. Yosemite Sam said when he saw me, he was going to knock me out. You know, yeah, I see this old nigga in church shoes and something. So that was a rant a long time ago. Now he mad today because one of my other little homeboys, he put up a post on Facebook, meter clowning and put me on TV and put some cuts in there and everybody going crazy over it. But, you know, like, bro, get over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that, and we know he done turned down about 1,000 fades, mine's included, right? But he could easily have John T and them bring him to the park, maybe if he say he cut like that. But
no, he can't. Matter of fact, one of the homies out of I was in New Orleans with Birdman them, right? And they said they called me like, Marv, is Wack in Gonzalez Park? I'm like, how I know? It ain't my park. I don't even know Gonzalez. Fuck Gonzalez, right? Right. But they say they rolled him up in there because he got a little pass from one of the OG homies. You know what I'm saying? They told me it was cool, so he thought he could slide in. But he had an incident with Compton Menace a couple of years ago, right? Right. So they tried to slide him up in the park, but Menace showed up. When Menace showed up, Menace told him he had to take that fade. That nigga got up out the park immediately.
Wait, he said you can stay, but you got to take the fade. Ain't that how that went?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, allegedly. But he wouldn't stay. He wasn't there 15 minutes. When Menace showed up, they say he made some little rigmarole, as he always do, and lit his ass right the fuck up out of that Gonzalez Park.
So he's not even welcome at Gonzalez. But no, the question I was asking, you ain't getting off that easy, was that you said that the homie from the West Side, he didn't have no West Side pass no more, that the homie from the West Side told you about him slamming.
Yeah, he was all, he allegedly, he's supposed to be so down, but every time he come around, the only place he go is 142nd Street on the West Side, escorted, right? So he claims on this little podcast.
Come through?
Huh?
This nigga say he a Piru, but he need an escort to come through?
Need an escort. He ain't coming by himself, and they go over GB's house and they kick it at GB house and he get right back on the freeway. But now he banished. He can't get, because he tried to do some old slick move the same way Birdman said he's a slime ball.
Oh, wait, Birdman said he a slime ball. Why?
Slime, but Birdman, a couple of months, last month before last, they gave Birdman and Slim a street in the Magnolias, and they named it Williams Way. And we were down there with Boss Talk, and we got to talking, and I asked him, he's like, man, there ain't no more cash money, West Coast cash money. Man, that nigga is foul. He do some foul shit, but he had beat homie out of some money. And come to find out, when all the checks went right to him, and he cashed them, and he started trying to go crazy, and it went all bad for him. So now, only person he got, like he said, I was talking to the OG homies. Well, John T with him every day. John T, I took care of him, sent him shit when he was in the feds. Me and his uncle Momo. Momo's my little homeboy. What are you talking about? Who you talked to? One nigga said that they didn't know me. You don't know nobody in Bompton. The only people you've been to the West Side, and a couple of people in Fruittown. You don't know no homies on the East Side. Just like I said before, they were like, are you talking about Mob James? He's CJ, Buntrial, none of them dudes. He was never talk to none of the dudes from the East Side.
Yeah, this was at when you was down.
That's in New Orleans right there. That's somebody did a portrait, and she did a portrait with Slim and Birdman in New Orleans. We was down there in New Orleans. That was dedicating their street to them. I was down there with him in June.
Right. So he turned it down with Menace. He want to hang out. They don't let him hang out unless he take the fade. He turned that down, right? Then
he didn't stay in the park, and Menace in the park every day.
Right.
Hey, so how can he be this voice of the? He said he is the voice of the Pirus. He is Mr.
That's what he say. That's what he's saying. He ain't even been to a hood day in his own hood. I went out to Pacoima looking for where he be, hang out, and the homies out there, Pacoima Park, man, that nigga don't come around us. They say, and you know what his real name is?
What?
Mac Leroy. Mac Leroy Jones.
Yeah, Yeah, Mac Gilroy. So,
Little Mac Leroy.
yeah. So you spoke also on that video about him lying about going to do the deal with Alan Grunblock, that he was saying with that Big U and Big U had Suge on the phone, and he went to the E1 building, Koch Records, E1 Entertainment One now, and he was supposed to be doing some deal with the lawyer Alan Grunblock. You spoke on that also?
No, I don't know anything about that. But just like with Big Hugh, he was all under Hugh's ass. And when he got this, how in the hell you know about grid? You know about you got so much paperwork. I've been gangbanging since '59. We started Treetops. I got on Treetops in 1959. I did 25 years in prison total time. And I don't know what's going on with the police. How this nigga got all this information. He go get debriefed every month.
Well, you said how he came in the game. Suge didn't put him in the game. Who put him? They say you finish how you start. Who put him in the game?
You know who put him in? Reggie Wright Jr. And then you talk about, well, Reggie and his daddy know who I am. So you didn't ask no OGs out of Compton about me, Yosemite.
Right. So he went and asked him. A matter of fact, speaking of Reggie, what's been your personal experience with Reggie? Because he recently slandered me, and we supposed to be I'm looking for an apology. If not, it's gonna go left. But he had another Negro that up in there that's a coward ass nigga, Fat Chumley. They did some shit and they wanted me to respond to it, but I'm not even. I'm gonna take them straight where it hurts at. It hit they jugular. You dig what I'm saying? But Reggie's a two-faced, backbiting. He the police, man. You know, so. He double deals. He goes and give information to Wack and let Wack put it out. What's he getting all this shit from the police? Right. Well, they got a federal RICO case where they're alleging that it just went federal, and they moved Ray J from the top of the indictment, RICO, to Cash Jones is now the #1 person on the RICO, and they were alleging that he was working with crooked police on Clubhouse, a female that was part of what's the name of that program, Diamond?
I can't remember the name of it. It's a mental health program. No,
right,
it's a mental health program.
LA Smart Unit. She's on there working, lining shit up. They decided all of this different stuff in there, shot somebody up, tried to take his percentage of a company, shot him up with meds, tried to say a white boy, tried to say he was 5150. He filed the whole civil suit in pro se. White boy sharp as a porcupine quill. Wow. But he working with Reggie Wright Jr. That's law enforcement. He working with the smart LAPD officer, and who else knows? I seen the video and showed that in the viral video I put out, where he was walking Blueface in the court, and he seen the sheriff, and he was like, "Hey, this the lawyer right here that helped me beat that 3 strikes." And he was like, "Oh yeah, man." So he tell the sheriff, "Just call me," and walked off. I never seen no Piru that had that relationship, that kind of relationship with the police. How I was coming protocol, if you go to talk to the police on the yard, you take somebody with you so you got verification of what was being talked about. You know what I'm saying?
But if you on the yard, you ain't got nothing to talk to the police about anyway.
Right.
I got a question, dudes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of my questions, so we know that, CS2 Back is a 137 confidential source, right? So with him being that, how do you feel about these so-called real dudes from their hood, these niggas that claim they got all this status, co-signing rat individuals like him? How do you view them, and what is your standpoint on it?
Man, I was just discussing that with one of my homies. a couple of weeks ago, and I come to the conclusion, because first I was real confused, but now loyalties ain't who you are. Loyalties is how much money a nigga got.
Right.
So now it's all about finance. I'll cross you up for a bag, for this and that. Some of the closest homies get into differences because they rode to a rack because he got the bag, he got the nice car. That ain't how life's supposed to work, you know. This man, Yosemite Sam, got on Clubhouse the other day and said that I was a snitch, right? Okay, let me say this. Suge called me on the phone, and in December of 2014, Suge was at Terry Carter's White at his house for dinner, for Christmas dinner, and bought his grandkids presents. He had got with me and Knob, Terry, Baba Louie, was trying to mend Suge and Dr. Dre together for them to put on an event to squash their beef, like the Piru walk, like Game and 50 did, which it wasn't genuine, but to get the money. So this what was going on for the last year, trying to put them together, put them back together. So 1 month before, Suge was at Terry's house. When Terry called me and told me that Suge got into it, Suge came over to the site. When he came over to the site, we got to talking and this, and then this incident happened. I was right there through the whole thing.
Wait,
after the whole court.
The site of what? What you talking about? Suge came to the site. What site did he come to?
Suge came. They were doing straight Outta Compton, and they had a movie set. The movie set was over on Bullis Road. Everybody assuming that Suge went to talk to Dr. Dre. He did not go to talk to Dr. Dre. He went to talk to Ice Cube about a check that Ice Cube was getting ready to put in. So Cube's security told Suge, like, man, he said, it ain't cool right now. I have this. Allegedly, I wasn't there. What Suge told me, and the police came, and then he got in confrontation with somebody else. He leaves there and comes on 142nd at Tams to talk to Terry. He called Terry, told Terry what was happening. Terry called me. We were standing there talking, and this incident came up. Now, after everything went on and he got convicted, he fell on his own sword. He fucked up. Because when he was going to court, I was gonna go testify for him. Because I'm a real homie. I'm not. If I have to lie for you, it's just like killing for you. I don't care what the fuck it is. You dig what I'm saying? If that's ratting, nigga, that's what it is. A Mexican, if he tell on you, it's all good, just as long as he get rid of you. You dig what I'm saying? So anyway, to make a long story longer, after all this incident, after Terry's wife tried to go and Warner Brothers and try to get with this and this and that, all, they sue Suge. They sue Suge. Suge calls me and like, Marv, man, these motherfuckers is trying to fuck over me on some real. So his attorney called David Kenner, say, man, I need you to come. And now, mind you, the dude that started all this and got this in court, because if nobody had went to court on Suge, he would have never went to prison, because it wasn't nobody there but me, Terry, Knob, Bone, and Jimmy Chris. We're the only four there. That's it. That knew anything about this. I didn't go to court. Whoever went to court and went to preliminary, that's how Suge got bound over it. Suge fucked up and did some other shit, and he took 28 years. He asked me to come to court. Now, when dude got on the stand on Suge, the prosecution, they didn't give him a proffer like they gave Keepy D. They gave him full immunity. If he copped this, he killed 20 people, he got full immunity. So when I went to civil court, whatever I said couldn't affect nobody. So Yosemite Sam is saying, I didn't even want him to go to prison for 28 years. He fucked that off. So whatever it is, I stand on it. You feel what I'm saying?
As you should. And listen, I definitely gonna lie, but I want you to talk about this document right here. I'll read it to everybody who can't see. If you see the top, you see Suge and then KN, which is Suge Knight, KTLA, Channel 5 News, Terry Carter under questioning from prosecutors. Sloan cried on a witness stand and declared he was not a snitch. Despite that, a judge ruled Thursday that, let's go to the next page, despite that Suge Knight should stand trial on murder and attempted murder charges. And then, that's CS2 back paperwork. So those are the only three. Bone Sloan was a key witness in their murder investigation of Marion Suge Knight. Sloan told them the one-time rap mogul had threatened to kill him immediately before. So this is who was testifying against Suge.
That's who was testifying. Who testified?
And mind you, went and testified at the preliminary hearing.
Testified at the preliminary hearing. That's what bound Suge over and was going to take the stand in trial. He got full immunity.
Hey, we got 600 people in the chat, man. Hit that like button and share. This is exclusive content with
Damu Kiwe Conversations
with Ayatollah Marv, man. Y'all heard it first. Let's go, y'all. And I want to go down the line for any questions y'all got.
Man, listen, y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube and one of the hottest rooms on Clubhouse. Listen, we got Ayatollah Marv. Salute to him, man. Standing on business with the Damu Kiwe Conversation team. Salute to that brother. Guess what? This is some hot content. If you rolling up right now,
you got the content.
You hear that? You when he do say that, you better tap in and tell a friend. But guess what? Make sure if you finna roll up your top shelf or take a shot with the Henny gang that's in the chat and that girl Henny that got plenty, make sure y'all rolling up with United Colored Wraps. That is the tobaccoless wraps and cones, United Colored Wraps. We got cherry, berry, grape, banana, apple, natural. If I name it, flame it up with United Color Wraps. Salute to United Colors for the sponsorship. And again, salute to Big U. We got the unique app. Make sure y'all download that. Tap in, make a profile. You're going to be able to politic with me, Damu Kiwe Conversation team, Do Sims, Diamond, and the whole team that's on Clubhouse. Make sure y'all download that app so your music can get distributed and politic with us. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. Salute to all the mods that's on their job. Anybody in the goose, salute to you too, man. And on stage, make sure you share this content. Hey, we got over 600 people in the chat because that's where it's at on live right now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tap in, share, and like this content, man. We sitting with Ayatollah Marv and the Damu Kiwe Conversation team. This is one of the hottest lives on YouTube and one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse. This is Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Any questions?
Man, hell yeah, I got some questions. Hey, listen, big dog. Hey, I'm in the city. I'm about to be sliding out there pretty soon. Hey, when I link, we need to link up, man. Let's politic. I told her this, y'all, man. I want to link up with. I'm
bro. Anytime I'm on Rosecrans every day.
Say less. I'm gonna pull up on you, big dog. I like I tell my homies, man. I politic on my homies all the time for the bullshit. I'm a politicker too. So, I stand for what's right. I got a brother in jail right now by the name of Freddie Sanders. Niggas lie, don't even put him in jail. And it seemed like it's okay. It seemed like it's okay to sell yourself and to sell the homies. Like they basically said, fuck him, forget about him. And I don't stand for that. And I see my brothers is not standing for that either. So I only want to fuck with niggas that's standing on business like that. And if you doing it and how you doing it right now, I gotta pull up on you, brother, and shake your hand, man.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Man, 100%, man. And again, man, so the fact that you don't co-sign the bullshit, how do we delegate through this and bring more people into the fold so we all can politic together like real Damus and Kiwes, like how we would do in the pen if we was on the 4 yard or if we was in jail, period. Can you give me an understanding on a method or some type of a plan that you will have, give a youngster like myself to try to bring more of us together?
Yeah, well, that it's the intensity of like you say, standing on your business and not let no bullshit go. We can't deal with cronyism. If somebody gets out of line, we supposed to deal with it. You can't, just like little dude Snoopy Badass. He on some bullshit because, like I say, he should have showed up. But he feel like he done gave so much and nobody giving this. Dude, what it is, we got to stand on business. Whether you a celebrity or whoever you are, man, ain't nobody bigger than the P. You dig what I'm saying? So it's once we get back to the foundation, and that's what we trying to do in Brompton, is get back to the foundation and start doing shit for self and making ourselves legitimate. All these dudes that got the, like Yosemite Sam, he got the little Dallas cheerleaders, all them little niggas is, oh yeah, that nigga's a rat. They ain't never probably been to Compton. They ain't never been down Rose Court. And when I see them, I come to the airport, they probably smiling, oh, big homie, big homie. But they get on these podcasts and they get to hooping and hollering with these alias names. They need to put a manifesto on podcast. You got to use your real name, nigga. You can't come on.
Right.
Man, I appreciate that, man. And again, salute to you, big dog. Appreciate the advice. Appreciate you coming through, fucking with us, man. Hopefully we can politic even more, man, and not just let this one be live be the end of it, brother.
For sure, man. I'm there.
Hey, Marv, let me ask you this, bro. In regards to Suge, and I'm going back to the early Death Row days. To me, I believe that he is the one who, by bringing all his homies along and promoting Piru the way that he did, he's the one who actually made it popular.
Of course, without a doubt.
And
without a doubt.
I mean, a lot of people have their feelings, their personal feelings about it, but at the same time, he might have did a lot of fucked up shit, but at the same time, he did a lot of good as well. Can you speak on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just got out of prison in 1990, and we were up at Ludus Park when him and what's her name? Joelle came through. She had some bib overalls on, and he was saying that he was getting ready to start Death Row. And I just came from San Quentin. I said, man, that's a bomb name, Death Row. But I mean, it ended up biting him in the ass. And I remember Stanley Pitts telling him, like, nigga, you ain't no gang member now. We gang banging up in here. We doing this and we doing that. And I'm like, well, bro. So Captain Shaheed Muhammad out of the Nation of Islam told me, yeah, man, I was dealing with Suge. I said, man, he was just talking about this Death Row Records. So, you know, as my only influence, I went back to prison. Now at this time, Rock Chisholm, Herc, Heron, and not Heron actually, but Elliot Ness, they was on crack at that time. You dig what I'm saying? I get out of prison in 95. I go to the movie. I see these niggas in Acura Legends got Death Row chains on. Marv, you need to go get with the road. You need to go do this. I ain't never worked for nobody. So I never got with them. I got with the Nation of Islam. We started doing Set It Off. I did the last movie with Tupac before he brought Reggie them on with Gridlock. You dig what I'm saying? So when it first started, yeah, he did. The people around him corrupted him. It was always the dudes that he paid homage to is the ones that shot him to the left, you know? So he wasn't no hood, but he the only one that didn't keep it gangster. Suge ain't told on nobody. Do you think he wouldn't told the feds that he got money from somebody else? Everything that happened to Suge Knight, a Negro told on him. He ain't told on nobody.
Yeah, because like back in, I remember like 93, 94, you know, he used to be up in Monty's up on Wilshire, you know what I'm saying? All the time. Like that was like the office, you know what I'm saying? And he had them dudes up there, and I know they hadn't had that type of experience and being around that type of environment, but he brought them, you know.
Well, real quick, Diamond, let me ask you. Can you speak on some of the positive things that you know Suge did?
Yeah, shit. I mean, I didn't personally seen that dude, man, pay people's mama's house notes.
That's right.
I didn't seen him, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to letting people's families go to fucked up hospitals, he have them go up to see the cyanide, you know what I'm saying? And he helped foot the bill, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this, and this is one thing. I look at Timmy Rule and I look at Buntry and I look at, you know, Mob James. That nigga Suge loved that nigga Buntry.
That's right. That's right.
And he looked, and one thing about it, in my heart and soul, I feel personally that Mob James was jealous of the relationship
all the time. He hated Buntry.
That Buntry had for Suge. The relationship that Suge and Buntry had with each other was it was on a different level. And I think that Mob James, he had a real displeasure and jealousy about that. You know what I'm saying? Because in many ways, it was like Buntry was more of a brother with Suge than Mob. You know what I'm saying? And
that's right.
I speak on this from firsthand accountability, because he had some birds. He had some cockatoos and macaws that when he would go out of town, I would go down to San Pedro and feed his birds for him. You know what I'm saying? Because the last cat that he had feeding him, he had left the cage open and they had fucked up his blinds at his spot. So he asked me to go because a lot of people were scared of the birds. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker got them big ass beaks. But I saw firsthand how good Suge had treated him and how good he treated Suge at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's why it kind of irritates me when I be hearing people with the dirty mag and talking crazy. Suge did a lot of shit, and he brought a lot of people. He brought a lot of people along that didn't necessarily deserve a spot to be brought along.
Right. 100.
And at the end of the day, I believe that was part of his downfall. He tried to bring everybody along.
That's right.
And he ain't meant to go along.
Say that.
Spider-Lope, you got something for him before I'll get his reaction to this, and then we're gonna kill it off because I want to know about this Charlie White, the informant Charlie White.
I just want to know when he gonna make good on that lunch he owe me.
Wait a minute, who on lunch?
I remember. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna remind you, man. With a compliment that good, man, I'm gonna take you to lunch.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, you the one hiding from me. You know I'm gonna take you to Subway Sub.
Hey, I'll take Subway. I like that tuna. They say
Look at this.
It's good to see you up here, though, OG. Oh God.
For real, hey, for real, man. Hey, I got you. Whenever you're around, man, you know shit. I keep the crime rate up. I ain't got no set times. I don't wake up till after 10. Shit, I got you.
On another note,
I'm gonna tap in.
Hey, Spider-Loke, on another note, while I got you and Marv on here, last month I didn't get no Zoom for that meeting, bro.
Me either. And I'm gonna holler at BC about that.
When they had the people from the Union, United Nations and all of that. Remember that joint call, Marv?
Oh, with Sean out of Ohio.
Right.
Yeah. They called me at the last minute. Yeah, that was Sean out of Ohio in the violence.
Right.
Yeah, in the violence. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at the homie because he didn't tap me in this time either.
Well, I'll make sure y'all tap in. I gotta call him tomorrow anyway.
All right. I'm
glad because they got a conference going on. I think it's September the 28th.
That's right around the corner. Yeah, I got to get up out of here. I just wanted to hang in and holler at you, man, and show my respect.
All right, for sure, Spider. We got to get together.
Easy call.
All right.
All right, Deuce.
All right, good looking, SPI. Shout out to the Blue Ridge.
All right, salute, SPI.
You already know, y'all.
All right, Spider.
I want to get a reaction to this, and then we're gonna get into Charleston White, and then we're gonna let the big homie get back to his life. But it's a couple clips. Shout out to the Henny gang, Henny Glasses in the chat. CS2 back. You can hear it yourself.
Put up the money as quid pro quo for defendant's life rights. He wants Keefe D's life rights. It's right there in black and white. Quid pro quo, for people who don't know what that is, even though I think we've gone over this before, is I'll do this for you if you do this for me. But of course, these public statements did not prevent Jones from attempting to perpetuate a fraud in this court. On redirect examination, Jones represented that the contract being discussed on the jail call between Jones and the defendant was about a car title. Pause, remember? He said, because you got a car on the East Coast and they got to get it back over here. A very well-known car on the East Coast, and he got to bring it back home. So that's what the contract was for. But we knew that was a lie. Source hearing, blah, blah, blah. This is yet another false statement by Jones made under oath. Later, when asked by defendant's counsel if defendant has put up the money as quid pro quo for defendant's life rights, he wants Keefe D's life rights. It's right there in black and white. Quid pro quo, for people who don't know what that is, even though I think we've gone over this before, is I'll do this for you if you do this for me.
So in the Keefe D bail hearing, the first time he got him his bail denied, something about the money. It didn't have money there a long time. Every time money was coming in, money was going out. That's how we know he ain't no real millionaire. He got to come with these records or whatever for the court to try to bail out Keefe D. They find out and rule. I think it broke today. The homegirl Henny, shout out to the Henny gang, broke it. They saying that he was lying and that it was a quid pro quo. And what you even think while I get the second clip, because it gets good. They talk about he has no credibility in the court of law. He's a liar. So in the court of law, when he under oath, at least we can say he ain't snitching on that part, right?
And he ain't got $100,000. His ass is broke. He ain't got no $100,000. So he might be balancing right under 100. You know what I'm saying? But the judge had looked at his finances for almost a year, and he never had over $100,000 in that account. The judge said every time 50,000 come in, 50,000 go out.
But
hey,
listen.
So when he was talking that shit with you, Marv, when he was talking shit about, oh yeah, keep on and you gonna see what this bag do. His bag ain't really.
Hey, I'm up and down Rosecrans every day. His bag ain't shit. And what kind of slime ball would be a Piru and bail a nigga out that's supposed to have anything to do with killing Tupac?
Man.
Right.
Well, I mean, what representation did that make? Him and Reggie Wright Jr. is on some bullshit.
This court
all right, let's go.
Attempted to cut through the morass of false statements by Jones. Now, we know what I said there. We said that I was using that. Isn't that just gonna start using morass of false statements? But I want y'all to listen to how they're calling things out when it comes to him. They didn't believe nothing that this man said in court. Oh, don't that feel so bougie? Make you feel bougie on the inside. Why are you over there telling me those morass of false statements? That part. So now we got this out the way with the courts, but I want y'all to hear it from the transcripts for yourselves, what their conclusion was of him. In a court of law, they calling you a liar. They on our side. They see like us. They do. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not. Even this court attempted to cut through the morass of false statements by Jones. Now we know what I said there. We said that.
All right, we're going to get to the second last clip, and then we're going to talk about Charleston White, man. We got to get the content, because I want to know what the hell happened to make his scary ass run up out that room with you and Melvin Farmer. You know what I'm saying? But we going to get to that next. Let's go. Henny
It
gang.
is clear that Jones cannot be trusted to tell the truth. Jones has forever damaged his credibility and given the deception. Any representation made by Jones should be wholly disregarded. Now, I'm going to put this video in the description box when I get done doing this live, but this right here is what they are saying in the eyes of the law. Okay, this is not something that Henny made up. Y'all can go watch that video and you will see for yourselves that the courts said that he rambled nonsensically and he was telling a morass of false statements and that he could never be trusted in a court of law ever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am here to tell you that they did go into a hearing. There was a battle that was going on because he still was trying to get Keefe D out. After Jones' testimony, one answer is clear, that Jones cannot be trusted to tell the truth. Jones has forever damaged his credibility and given the deception. Any representation made by Jones should be wholly disregarded. Now, I'm going to put this video in the description box when I get done doing this live, but this right here is what they are saying in the eyes of the law. Okay, this is not something that Henny made up. Y'all can go watch that video and you will see for yourselves that the courts said that he rambled nonsensically and he was telling a morass of false statements and that he could never be trusted in a court of law ever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am here to tell you that they did go into a hearing. There was a battle that was going on because he still was trying to get Keefe D out. After Jones' testimony.
And that's it. Shout out Henny gang. Safe flight, Henny. She would have been here with us, but I have to make sure that the crowd heard Henny's voice anyway, and it was perfectly with what we going on.
Hey, G, I just want to say this. Everybody need to watch. He just was on Cam Capone show, right? We're talking about a liar. If on the Cam Capone show, Cam Capone asked him what he was arrested for. And he said, what I was arrested for, what I went to the pen for. If you start looking at his body language, every crime he talks about, I was in murders, he starts moving around like a liar. The only thing that he told the truth on is that he shot somebody with a BB gun. All them murders, it irked him to try to, he couldn't even look him in the eye. He looked all around. He is the epitome of a fat little squat liar.
Exactly. Real quick, so tell me what happened when you and Melvin Farmer, I think y'all went to Texas to go.
Yeah. Well, what happened? What happened? Mob James was in Texas. Mob James was in Texas. Him and Charleston White gets into it. I didn't know Charleston White from a can of paint. They get into it. Some of the homies get at me and tell me, man, who is this nigga out of Dallas, this Crip nigga? He's doing this shit and he's talking about Buncheral. So they show me where he said, fuck Buncheral and this and this and that. So everybody got, but I called Melvin Farmer. Melvin Farmer is supposed to introduce him to Big Hugh and took him and showed, and he aired Melvin out about it. So I told Melvin, man, we need to talk. He called and set it up. We flew back to Dallas. We flew to Dallas. I didn't know this dude from a can of paint. He comes in to the Boss Talk radio show. We sit and talk to him, bro, I don't know you, but, you know, you ain't never been to Compton, have you? He's like, no, man, I ain't been to Compton. I said, well, you know, he said, well, man, we'll discuss it when we sit down. So, okay, he sit down. We were supposed to have been talking about what he said about Buncheral and where he get it from, because some homies we got a personal thing about the death of Buncheral. Whatever you said to Marv James, that's on you and Marv James. But when you bring Bunch Reality, bro, you fucking with Piru's, and we're gonna discuss it. He okay, hold on. He gets to talking and he goes off on Melvin about characters and this and this and this and this and that. Then Melvin tells him, nigga, I don't care, whether it's a character, ain't nobody gonna disrespect, but that's LA. I ain't got a dog in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So you get to talking about, okay, nobody put a muzzle on his mouth and he can say what he wants. I said, nigga, no, we can do something to you and make your motherfucking ass feel like you want to change your mind. He pops up and gets the fuck up. Well, man, y'all discuss it by yourself and ain't heard nothing from him. So he had a thing where he was telling everybody he ain't never been a snitch. The same thing that these other guys are snitching say. And I pulled up the paperwork that he testified and gave the gun to his crime partners and got his crime partners a life sentence on a murder that they committed. And I killed a white man. He never pulled the trigger. He was sitting in the back seat crying. How
old was the guy he gave that gun to? Wasn't he underage?
No, all of them. The oldest one was 16. Charleston White was 15 at the time, and he didn't give him the gun. The dude had the gun, and they went into a mall to steal some jackets, and a white man came out and tried to stop him. And when he tried to stop him, one of his homeboys shot the dude, and when he shot him, they rolled off, and they ended up getting caught. So when they caught Charlie, he stashed the gun in the roof of this house and told everybody that was in there and told him. So he took a 7-year youth authority and got them. One of them did 24 years. The other one's still in the penitentiary from 1991.
Is it true that he goes to the parole hearings for the dude that's still in?
Came to the parole. He told him that if his life would be in jeopardy if they let him out.
That's some
so see his record was sealed. So he said that well, nobody can prove that I killed this, and anybody I give $30,000. Anybody show I'm a snitch. So I went to his homeboy in prison and got his appellate court records, and his appellate court records had his trial records and had all 600 pages of Charleston White telling. Damn. So once I exposed him, I told on him, but see, he knows how to embrace whatever you say about Charlie. He gonna take it and run with it because he dealing with a bunch of other closet queers that wanted to say what they want to say about gangbanging. He's just the mouth for that. He ain't about that business. I go back to Dallas.
He's definitely the mouth. He's definitely the mouth and the voice of those who couldn't come off the porch and never were in the crowd, that were beta males that didn't fight, that weren't cool or whatever. So they had that envious position and they felt like, oh, you niggas is dumb. Well, everybody got false. In fact, our community is fucked up as a whole. But that's the whole thing. It's just like this chick told me one time, don't you think y'all have to take responsibility? Well, do you ask a Peckerwood to take responsibility for 600 years of slavery, 327 years of physical slavery, another 300 years of mental slavery? Right now, you're a slave and you don't even know it. Right.
So have white America ever took accountability? Yeah, we did that. Our bad. We're going to do it for you. But everybody a gang member, you're going to punish a child for what a grown person do? So whatever, y'all just in a position right now, before the Republicans and the Democrats, they was the Whig and the Federalist Party, right? They were a mob. And they got tired of getting bitched out by England, and they had a thing called the Boston Tea Party. Right. And they threw on and they got the independence. And then from a mob, they became a organization and they became controlling United Snakes of America.
But when we do it, they criminalize.
Because that's the side. Man, you're the biggest power it is, and you just don't know it. If Bloods and Crips got together politically, we'll organize our own destination. But they keep us. I had to tell some motherfuckers in Memphis, Tennessee. I was out in Memphis, and they were talking about how this stuff. You wouldn't have known. Well, don't you think you have to take responsibility? I don't have to take responsibility for shit, because you wouldn't know anything about me in Compton if it hadn't been for colors and boys in the hood.
Right. One other thing, right? So when you say organizing the political party to control our own fate, a lot of people look at gangs and all they see is what's being promoted, and that's the negative side. It's negative, right, positive to everything that is. You eat food, and the negative, you shit it out. A lot of people see and focus on that, but when you got the positive of unity, you have the positive and strength in numbers with a structure. A lot of teenagers is rebellious and they don't understand the necessity of structure, right? And this is also proliferated through even our rap music. Right?
It's just like in Compton right now. We're promoting with Piru's. We got a thing. We've been going every month with Rayford Owens in his church, and he got all the Piru's and Crips together and moving forward and trying to build a base. Our mayor won the mayor's race with less than 3,000 votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If all the Crips on Alondra side and all the Piru's, and they get 3 people, we have over 4,000 votes, right?
That's leverage. That's leverage.
So now, if we elect the mayor, we elect the city council, shit start going our way. Just that easy. So once we accomplish one thing, don't you think that you ought to see in Compton that you ought to be able to go and show your grandchildren, this is what I was a part of?
Huh.
So now you just got to get the understanding in the mind. It starts with the few 300. And then you get to 6,000, because everybody ain't a thinker. Most of us is followers anyway.
Right.
So we just got to get the cap on what we do. It's nothing impossible. They say the greatest form of, they say discipline is the greatest form, the purest form of self-love. Discipline. You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't understand who you are, where you from, and that's why people like, man, you separating Piru's and Bloods. Man, no, I'm showing Compton. Look, I done been to 9 states in the last 3 months, and everybody playing They Not Like Us. I went to South Africa, and they had Compton hats on. The biggest thing before They Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, was 1991. We're all in the same game.
Right.
So this is
Michael Concepcion put that together.
Mike put that together. You know what I'm saying? And with the gang truce and white America in there, it didn't last because everybody wanted to party and get high, and you let white people start dictating to us, and we went right back to the same thing. Got to keep the devil out your business.
Right, govern our own. Well, Henny, can you talk and say anything before we let them go? Because I know that the Henny gang want to hear your voice.
What's poppin', everybody? Salute to you.
Salute.
To the OG on the stage. I watch you. I really agree with a lot of the content you put out and what you speak on. And it's an honor to be on the stage with you.
Thank you.
Henny gang. Diamond, you want to say something?
Yeah. Hey, Marv, what I wanted to ask you, man, what do you think about this weird infatuation that this nigga Rap 100 got with Big U, man? I mean, just from your own, educated perspective.
Like I say, he's a backstabber. Nobody, you talk about like, yeah, Big U works for the police. Ain't nobody from 60 Crips put him off. Ain't none of his homies. You got some weirdos that's talking about that was eating his ass before he got popular. He was in 60 neighborhood more than he was ever in a Piru neighborhood.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, the police then back you up when they want to try to down Big Hugh and setting up all these allegations, but it's no facts to nothing he said. Oh, he on grid. How you know? Big Hugh, I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight. I've never talked to dude personally, but I know that this dude got, I think it was 100 black kids, not Mexicans, not Puerto Ricans. He got 100 black kids, took them down, bought them suits, took them to dinner, put shoes on their feet, some shit that they had. It's some experiences that you can get as a kid, change the trajectory of your life. So he's done a lot of good. What is Yosemite Sam done? Oh, I'm getting ready to do this in the Congos. Nigga, who give a fuck about the Congo? Fuck Africa. Not like that, but I'm just saying.
Hey, it's
and
crazy
I agree
that
with
you
you.
said that. Let me say this, Diamond, before I forget. I was on the phone with Big U. I think Diamond was on the phone too. And he had the football team with him, all 14, whatever, stand at his house. He's helping to build these boys into men.
Yes, sir.
And he tell them that they need to help set up the thing to water the line. These kids don't go outside. They don't even know. They never drink from a water hose.
Right. See, people don't talk about that part. People don't talk about that part. They let Yosemite Sam spout off and this and that. And bro, he don't go and try to brag about the good he do. He just do it, you know?
Right.
Exactly. And just on the page of what you were saying, by him taking 100 boys. Hey man, I didn't firsthand seen this dude gather 50, 60, 70 kids, take them to the Getty Museum.
Right.
And take them to Universal Studios. He get 100 tickets and take all the kids to Universal Studios. Not just the kids, but their parents too. You'd be surprised how many of their parents hadn't been out of their hood.
Hadn't been out of their element, man. It's the Getty Museum is a 3-day experience, and half of us ain't never been there.
Homie. And just seeing the things that he do, and it sometimes it becomes irritating to sit up and hear this dude, you know what I'm saying, rap 100 and all of his propaganda and all of his bullshit and all of his false narratives, you know what I'm saying, and he's constantly trying to destroy somebody.
That's what these agents do. Him and his little Dallas cheerleaders, ain't none of them got no credibility. Mac Leroy, fuck you.
Hey, Henny, take us out. The only way you can. Salute to Ayatollah Marv for coming.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Enjoy your evening, King.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, salute. Hey, big bro, listen. This Yael. Send that Instagram. I'm going to tap in with you ASAP, bro.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, salute.
Salute,
All
big
right,
man.
y'all. I apologize for my tardiness, but I'm here and I'm gonna close it out for y'all. But y'all know what I always say: when y'all rest well, and remember that love is always love, y'all. And we'll see y'all in the next one.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.